first, usually when I would utter this sentence, if I ever utter this sentence, I would be doing so sarcastically. But here it goes. There was a free speech victory today. Does it happen often? Happens kind of never, but it happens sometimes. I would say it happened today. So here's a refresher. This concerns Abby Martin. I'm sure you're all familiar with Abby Martin, journalist, filmmaker, host of the Empire Files. So this happened a little while back. To refresh everyone's memory, filmmaker who wouldn't sign Georgia's Israel oath sues state. So Abby was scheduled to appear at a university, and I believe it was a media conference for a university. And they had this form she needed to sign, basically saying you would not protest against Israel or participate in BDS. And she said, I'm not going to sign that. That's ridiculous. I have every right in the world to protest a government should I choose to do that. You can't do that. So her appearance was canceled. They canceled her appearance, and she took it to court. Well, so here is an update on that I'm pretty sure just happened today, at least according to Abby's Twitter feed, just happened today. So check this out. Proud to announce, this is from Abby Martin's Twitter, proud to announce that we have officially won our lawsuit against the state of Georgia's anti-BDS law, which has been struck down as a result of our case. So not only did Abby win her lawsuit, but they also realized this law cannot stand. So here's what the Partnership for Civil Justice Fund says. Huge victory in our BDS free speech case in Georgia on behalf of Abby Martin. Federal court rules Georgia's anti-BDS law is unconstitutional, violates Abby's First Amendment and due process rights by demanding she renounce support for BDS. And here's her statement on that. I am thrilled at the judge's decision to strike down this law that so clearly violates the free speech rights of myself and so many others in Georgia. My First Amendment rights were restricted on behalf of a foreign government, which flies in the face of the principles of freedom and democracy. So, little bit of a victory there. And do you, Lauren, first of all, give me your thoughts on the whole thing. And also I wanted to pose a question too. Is it important not just for the sake of maintaining our own humanity and maintaining a shred of hope, but also for creating a clearer map to larger victories, to kind of really highlight when small victories like this happen? And when I say small victory, I'm not trying to marginalize what happened. Like I'm thrilled for Abby. I applaud her and Mike for doing this. I think it's awesome. I'm thrilled about the ruling. So, I don't mean that, but what I mean by that is we still have such a long way to go in the big sphere of the world, especially with Julian Assange still sitting in a prison cell. We still have a very long way to go, but these types of things are very important.
Yeah, I think it's scary that she had to fight for the right to say her opinion. And I think hopefully, as Americans and people who have a vested interest in the future of this country, I hope that no matter what our stances are on an issue like this or any issues, I hope that we can agree that the ability to say what's on your mind is something that should never be taken away from us, unless it's like a hate crime, or there's like certain categories you can't say bomb on an airplane, but like for her to say she's protesting against an authoritarian government, that should not affect her career here and her ability to keep working on her craft, but being uninvited and having to really fight that battle. Not everybody would have the resources that she collected to be able to have that fight. So I think it's really indicative of something bigger and scarier that and it's not just with like Israel versus Palestine. It's like I got some threats for saying fuck the police when I ran for office, and
See,
There's just
I will only vote for people who say fuck the police. If you don't
yeah.
say fuck the police, I just don't vote for you.
Yeah, totally. I agree with that. But there's like a whole thing where like power protects power.
Sure.
And Abby's like one of the little people like us that is fighting the good fight to just be able to say her opinion. My goodness. So like whether you're for or against BDS or for or against whatever is happening anywhere on this planet, you should be able to say it. And we could really disagree, but you should be able to say it.
Oh, totally. Well, especially, and I know that this law pertained to the state as a whole, but especially like when you see things being so blatantly censored and put into this, like, well, you can't say this in an institution of higher learning, that's all the more concerning. Now, granted, there are some I say like areas where that doesn't apply. Like if somebody wants to, make a total pseudoscientific bogus lecture at a university, and the university says, we really don't have the funding for that, nor do we really think that this belongs in an institution of higher learning because it's just a bunch of bogus information. That's totally different. But if you're bringing someone in to speak on a topic where they have made a documentary on said topic, they have been there, they have an extensive body of work on said topic, and then you're going to restrict what views they're allowed to have, like that is, I mean, that just thumbs its nose at the very idea of education.
Totally.
So, victory doesn't happen often. I just unironically said this is a free speech victory. We don't get to say that often. Say it to everyone today. Call your friends and family. Say, hey, there was a free speech victory today in the United States. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? It happens every so often. Not often. This is, in fact, I don't remember the last time, but I'm sure something happened at some point in time.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our